may now invite Mr. Auduth Timblo to speak on sustainable mining.
I'm born into a mining enterprise, a mining family over 70 years, and I'm about that age too. But my earliest memory of mining in Goa has been in the 1950s. But before I understand the mining of Goa, I would like to go back in history. Mr. Nasser said very well, 5,000 years of mining in Oman. That's quite true, and it's quite speaks that there is civilization for 5,000 years. Because if there is no civilization, there is no mining. Sometimes when you are in your office or in your home, look around your room. You will find a certain floor, tiles, cement. Remember, that's limestone mining. Then you look in your structure, and it is often steel or RCC. That's iron ore mining. Then you look at your ducts and air conditioning, it's aluminum, and therefore it's bauxite. Then you take a glass of drink or something more than that, it's also silica. Everything around you is connected with metals and minerals. So mining and civilization is synonymous. There's a famous saying, I don't remember who said it. There was an age called Stone Age. That's even before 5,000 years, maybe 500,000 years ago, when the sapiens, Homo sapiens, were just coming of age. And they did mining, stone mining, because they wanted to use the stone as a weapon, or maybe to build something. And stone mining started maybe 500,000 years ago, sometimes even to write on the stone our whole history. But the stone mining came to an end, or did it? Stone mining or stone came to an end not because there was not enough stone. There is lots of stone, but stone mining is gone. It's evolved in the other forms of iron ore, bauxite, limestone. They are also stones. So here we go into mining and civilization as a concurrent, simultaneous activity. But recently, there is a hue and cry that it is not sustainable, it is not needed, stop it. And in Goa, these pendulums swung the one way and said, stop mining. Goa was a financially viable entity. By stopping mining, the debt of Goa has gone up from $1 billion to $5 billion. And the government of Goa is unable to service the debt. Now, that is unsustainable administration, unsustainable economy. So, if we were able to balance things very well, we would have had financial sustainability and good life. But things go out of control, and society suffers because society is not led properly by their leaders. And then the leaders get changed, and sometimes you have what's happening in Venezuela, what's happening in Swaziland, what's happening in Mozambique. Everywhere there is some sort of a chaos because the activities of minerals, mining, metals, distribution, society are not well understood. I come particularly to Goa because I've lived here, and again, I'm able to understand it better than I would understand other areas of the world. Okay, before stone mining, there was another mining. And that comes to my mind recently when I looked around and had a lot of time to think, because mining in Goa was shut down, but the mind was not shut. So we kept on thinking things around us. And that's ever since millions of years, we've gone in search of that particular resource, or if I may even call it mineral, and say we want that most? Any answer to that? Water. Now, water is a resource, and when you look around Goa and just go outside, you'll see the rain. It comes from the west, the clouds come passing by Goa, and sometimes I get into now, because of the ability to understand more on internet, you calculate the weight of how much clouds in tons cross our eyes and go over to the rest of India. Here's a hint. 12 billion tons of water falls in Goa. In terms of water that's come. Our need is 200 million tons. About 2% of what God gives us. Where does the balance 98% go? It goes into the sea, or it goes onto the earth, and then evaporation and back into the sea. So we have lost that opportunity to harness that particular resource. We keep on losing resource after resource, not understanding how the whole system should function better. Subi is a consultant from Chicago and USA, and he is into minerals. Maybe you should consider water as something that we can even give to the rest of the country instead of making it flow. 11.8 billion goes back to the sea. Now, more than that goes onto the overland. Where does that go? So if you calculate India's water resource, 400 or 500 billion cubic meters falls on India, thanks to God. Where does it go? If even 50% of that was used, India would be surplus in that particular mineral or resource called water. So again, that is unsustainably mismanaged by our system. Now I keep on saying system, 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 but where does the system come from for sustainable mining or sustainable undertaking of winning the natural resource? The system comes from good legislation. If you make that legislation good, you will be able to win the mineral for the betterment of the society. Sometimes you have good legislation, bad implementation. Sometimes there is not such a good legislation, but nice implementation with common sense. So the system of law is very important for sustainable mining. When I'm enlarging the word sustainable, because I don't want to get into saying that no, there should be no open cast or this cast or that underground, then you're getting into too much micro. I've been given 8 minutes, now I've got to do 2 more minutes. So the good laws are very important, and I was very happy to be in Goa, which had a very fine law of mineral code. It's more than a century old, or more than 75 years old. That mineral code gave birth to Goa's mining. And Goa's mining is a post-World War II mining. You must remember what happened in World War II or even before World War II. There was an over-appetite and greed of certain economies and certain nations to win the mineral. And trade was not the prescription of the day, so they crossed borders to capture minerals in a military manner. Germany going to Poland, to Czechoslovakia, even to Sweden, and Japan going down to Philippines, coming all the way to Myanmar, Burma, all in search of wealth for making war machines or making metals out of minerals. That stopped after World War II. A lot of new systems were put in place internationally, so mining got a good name and trade began. Goa was born from that legislation. So please understand, sustainability means good laws and sustainable laws, not just from the bottom of my heart, I want to be sustainable. Human nature, corporate nature is such that they need profits, or they want profits. Now I have the other part where the new good laws of Goa gave birth to Goa's mining. Though geologically speaking, in those days or even today, Goa's mineral resource is tiny fraction of India. But yet, Goan mineral winning was almost 50% of India in the 60s and 70s. And again, I relate the case also to Oman. I was very happy to hear that Oman has a progressive way of looking at winning the mineral. Sustainability will come along with good implementation of good common sense and participation of the government, the corporations, the society around you. So this is, in short, my bird's eye view of sustainable mining as much as sustainable life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Auduth Timblo. It's excellent. Any questions to the speakers? We have 2-3 minutes to spare.